head hunting as a practice, I think, was gone away from Manipur. But again, we see head hunting of victims happening. Manipur was not exactly a safe place for Kuki Christians.
Manipur has been a Meitei Kingdom when it was a monarchy. Nativism isn't just a remit of the right. It is something that straddles the entire political spectrum. So left, right, center doesn't matter.
But Angshuman, like if we look at the history of Manipur, then Manipur has always been an ethnic state. Like we have Pangal Muslim massacre in 1993, and before that also, Manipur was not exactly a safe place for Kuki Christians and Nagas. There has been historical bias against them. Like I saw, I think 3-4 pictures also where head hunting of uh, Kuki victims, is happening. Head hunting as a practice, I think, was gone away from Manipur, but again we see head hunting of victims happening. So this is
No,
maybe,
definitely. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is that one narrative you will see emerging from Meitei intellectuals and academia is that all of this hostility is new. We should stop it. This is all artificial, constructed. Some particular certain elite factions within these two communities are generating this kind of hostility. It's never been there, and which belies, as I said, the history. I mean, there has been systematic, and as I said earlier, Manipur has been a Meitei kingdom when it was a monarchy, right? So the point is that historically, that kind of hegemony, that kind of social hegemony, has trickled down and manifested in different forms. None of this is new. What we are seeing today is only you could say, an aggravated manifestation of long historical, complex historical processes.
Yeah, like for example, the usage of Lysipria, the environment kid, who is
Hmm.
justifying for
Hmm.
Nazism of Arambai Tengol. Then
Hmm.
Mera Pabis have
Hmm.
hit the ground, and they are creating propaganda against Kuki SOs, who
Hmm.
again have been created by the government only.
Hmm.
And there is also transgender groups who have kind of trying to justify, not justify, at least to apologia for the Meitei violence that has been unleashed. So
Hmm.
in a way, is it not unsafe to say that when we are talking about ethnic democracy for a long time, and we are seeing a creation of ethnic democracy within the meta narrative of Hindustan,
Hmm.
in India, in Manipur, and it's happening before creation of such kind of ethnic state in Assam, which
Hmm.
historically has been the most ethnically charged hot spot in India.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, these are, you would say, in many ways, micro versions of of the larger ideological project that's going on across, pan India project that's going on, which began in the north. I would say the cow belt, the Hindi belt, and also in many ways Maharashtra. Let's not forget that. So I would say these are mushrooming of smaller versions of the larger cultural nationalist project of homogenizing this country in a way, and ethnicizing what is supposed to be a pluralistic, heterogeneous, and secular democracy, democratic fabric. So we saw it happening in Assam, and there is, this must be talked about. How the Hindutva political project has tried to co-opt in many ways local ethnic sentiments, local nativist sentiments, local indigenous politics. We saw that happening in Assam, right? We saw that happening in Assam, and now we are seeing in many ways the same thing happening in Manipur. Um, of course, you cannot just see this through a religious sort of lens.
Hmm.
There are other layers also, but at the
Hmm.
same time, unlike what many intellectuals and scholars argue, I wouldn't dismiss the communal angle here entirely. All layers must be counted for This is a complex sort of situation, but and hence all layers must be counted for in terms of understanding what are the drivers of this conflict. Then there is, of course, the Sanamahi revivalist movement, right? So, and its own interactions with the Hindutva political project. So those things need to be talked about when we are trying to sort of scratch the surface of what's happening.
Like, if we do a sociological profiling, a historical sociological profile of the nationalist movements in Assam as well as in Manipur, then somehow historically we're seeing that these are offshoots of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, which
Hmm.
did not have that much success in Bengal, West Bengal, and Bangladesh, but it is having a different kind of success in Assam and Manipur. In Assam, I remember there was one MLA who said that how dare Mia enter the temples of Shankaracharya, and
Hmm.
entering the temple of Shankaracharya as a cow eater itself is a heinous crime.
Yeah.
So we are seeing that kind of a thing in Manipur as well, and it is very similar.
Yeah. What is also in Assam's case, as I said, there's a attempt to co-opt the neo Vaishnavite movement of Hankordev
Hmm.
into the Hindutva fold, right? Where Namghors are being reimagined as sort of staunchly Hindu places, right? Whereas the neo Vaishnavite movement of Hankordev was quite sort of social, communally agnostic. It was quite very secular in that sense and very inclusive in that sense. So there's a way to reimagine that. In Manipur, what is interesting is that there is a friction. There's a very strong friction between the Sanamahi revivalist movement and also the Hindutva political project. That we see a pushback from the Sanamahi revivalism against in the Hindutva political project's attempt to co-opt Sanamahism in a way. But then again, you see groups like Meitei Lipun, which which very comfortably fuse these two in a way, unlike Aram by Tangol, which is more of a sort of Sanamai revivalist group. So
Hmm.
I would say we've got to. This is a phase of violent churning, and it's going to lead to something. Is what I feel. Something will become clearer once the dust settles. So, got to wait for a while. I would say.
So, is it safe to say that we are in Manipur? We are in a civilizational warfare, and kind of even the communist Meitei and Manipuris, they are also kind of supporting. They're not exactly mane, supporting cookies, or they are protecting cookies. They are also uh, हिंदीতে বলে না যে গঙ্গা में हाथ बह देना. So
Hmm.
they are
Yeah.
also doing that kind of activity. Like we
Yeah.
are in a how did we reach such a stage
Hmm.
where even the Bampanthi Metis are supporting Hindutvadi Metis or Brahmanical Metis. This is a very weird kind of a thing. How this change?
Yeah.
How is it
I,
happening so fast?
Yeah, I mean, I don't find it very weird because I've seen the same thing happen in Assam in many ways. This is what you can call the ethnocentric left, which very much buys into, or rather tries to claim the politics of indigeneity, the ethnic politics of indigeneity and nativism, the ethno nationalist politics of indigeneity and nativism. So you have to understand that ethno nationalism or nativism isn't just a remit of the right wing. It is something that straddles the entire political spectrum. So left, right, center doesn't matter. All of them come into the ethnocentric vote. Look, did you see any left politician from Assam seriously or committedly oppose the NRC? No, they did
No.
not.
Mm.
Everyone, even some of the most radical left, so-called progressive people from Assam, intellectuals from Assam, they tried to justify NRC using jargon, using sort of academic complexities and stuff like that, right? So, but in some ways, saying that look, NRC is going to resolve a vexed issue of immigration, illegal immigration, as if this issue was like an apple hanging on a tree and they did not create it. So my point is that they are in some they form part of that larger sort of scholarly academic and both as it's an organic intellectual and um, and an intellectual a theoretical intellectual in a way. So
Yes.
I would say this is what we are seeing at play is an ethnocentric progressive politics. So don't I would say don't be surprised when you see Bamponthis in Manipur also doing Meitei Ganga mein Hath Dhona.
No, but in Assam, we understand their topsy turvy changing from time to time. There's a historic timeline to understand why certain progressive people are taking that line. But somehow in Manipur, there seems to be very less knowledge about this transformation.